I have to say, Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider is a series full of the most batshit crazy characters that have completely lost their minds over their long many years of being alive. The show is bonkers. Everything about it is crazy and stupid and should never be taken seriously, but I absolutely love it. I don't know how I'm going to be able to describe this, but I just think that this series is absolute genius while at the same time one of the stupidest things I've ever watched. Plus, for anybody out there that's really upset about One Punch Man and the fact that they will never get a proper production schedule that will allow them to make anything good with that series, watch this show. It's literally the One Punch Man show you all want. It has a guy that can one punch people. But anyways, I have watched the first 3 episodes of this show. Let's just jump right into it. What is it about? The series opens up with Tojima, and Tojima, ever since he's very, very young, he's always loved Kamen Rider. Constantly watching on television, constantly doing the transformation pose himself, training himself physically day and night, all so that one day, hopefully, he too can become Kamen Rider. Well, yes, now at the age of 40, he has come to realize that it's all fake. It's all a TV show. None of it is real. There's no shocker. There's no Kamen Rider. There's no tackle. None of this is real. But thankfully for him, suddenly out of nowhere, there's news broadcasts that there's apparently a group of people dressed up as Shocker robbing convenience stores. And it kind of gives him a little bit of hope there. Maybe there is the existence of Shocker. But no, it's just people dressing up like it. Well, one day, as he's at a festival, he ends up running into a group of thugs that are all dressed up as Shocker, attacking a food stand. So he decides to buy a mask from a stall that looks like Kamen Rider's mask, puts it on, and feels a shock through his entire body. And so he rushes over there and punches the daylights out of everybody before going, "That's extremely exciting," and runs off. Well, this catches the attention of a school teacher named Okuda. Now, Okuda has got a similar story as Tojima. That when she was very, very young, she was bullied a lot, and her father introduced her to a particular character in Kamen Rider, the first female warrior named Tackle. And she immediately fell in love with this character. She's brave, she's strong and everything, so she also trained constantly in order to become Tackle. Until she actually seen the episode where Tackle dies by sacrificing herself, which completely crushes her. But her father instills upon her that Tackle never died, and instead, she will become the new Tackle. So she's been training day and night, and day and night, and day and night, all until now she's an adult, and she dreams of one day that she will come out into the public as Tackle. Well, she sees footage of Tojima dressed up with just a mask, acting like Kamen Rider, and she's furious. I was supposed to be one that takes down Shocker. Well, one day she gets her chance, as the convenience stores get hit up again by the same thugs wearing the same masks, acting like Shocker. And she rushes over there, but she runs into Tojima, which she immediately punches him out because he's not dressed right for to be Kamen Rider. And then she proceeds to take down the Shockers. Now, it doesn't end there, as they do realize that this is just a bunch of people that are thugs that are just cosplaying as these characters from this Kamen Rider show. They're not actually Shocker. But out of nowhere, it seems like things get serious in the idea that it seems like an actual villain does show up. An actual Shocker does transform in front of them, and they take him down. Not only that, but they actually see an actual monster. So the two of them, now knowing the existence of Shocker is real, and the idea that there are monsters in the town, they sort of have to join together to try to take them down. And that's pretty much the gist of Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider so far. Like I alluded to at the very beginning, I actually really like this show. And let me be perfectly clear, I am not a Kamen Rider fan. I've seen some Kamen Rider here and there. I've watched a lot of spin-offs. I think most of the stuff that I consume that is Super Sentai Kamen Rider stuff is typically like comedies that are making fun of it, parodies and whatnot. I'm definitely not somebody to come to for expertise in Kamen Rider. I will say there's a lot of references in here to the actual show. I love a lot of what they've done with the actual show itself. It's like they took the actual live action film footage of the show and actually animated it for the show itself, which I thought was really cool. Like, it really looks like a live action turned anime. It's really cool. But no, what I've loved so much about this show is that it's batshit crazy. The writing, the characters, they're all crazy. The comedy that I'm really getting from this show is just absurdity. Like, these characters are absurd. It's really going for Tojima and Okuda and this new guy that they meet, this manager at this restaurant. They're all people that seemingly never grew up, or at least they got entrapped by their childhood. Back here, when they watched Kamen Rider, they loved it so much they dedicated their entire life to it, and thus they mentally never kind of grew out of it. They're like grown-up kids even till now. And it gets to the point where Tojima, when he now sees Shocker, he's seeing these people showing up and they're seemingly not just cosplaying bad guys, they're actually Shocker. He's getting extremely emotional. Like, he's literally crying, going, "You're finally here, Shocker. After 40 years of my life, I finally get to punch something that I believe is Shocker." It's like how he gets all geeky out whenever somebody wants to tell their hero story. Like, he's super excited to hear, like, somebody's backstory about their experience with Shocker. Like, this guy is a total man-child through and through. It's great. He's strong, he's buff, he just dukes things out and everything. Okada's kind of the same way. Okada has technically grown up. She does have a job. I mean, Tojima does too. He's a construction worker. Okada has grown up. She's going into society. She's got a job as a school teacher. And she kind of kept all that stuff hidden until now that she sees the threat in front of her and she can transform. But even still then, she has no filters. This chick just literally rips open her shirt, rips it off, pulls down her skirt, puts on her costume in the middle of the street. Like, everybody's watching, she literally declothes and then puts on her uniform, her costume for tackle right in front of everybody without a sense of embarrassment. And then she rushes over to take out the target. And then she's stupid about it because she literally punches out Tojima because he's not dressed right. You only have this kitty mask on that you got from a festival. That's not what Kamen Rider looks like. You're supposed to have a full uniform like I've created. This chick has literally created a full uniform. She works out day and night, bench pressing and everything. It's a bunch of man children. They're all like children in their mind, even though they're adults. And I think that part of it is what's so funny. It's absolutely absurd. And that's not even get started on the whole backstory. I think my favorite piece of comedy in this series so far is Tojima's backstory. The scene, this guy that's just, devoted himself to the craft of becoming Kamen Rider, despite the fact that people think it's weird and everything like that. But there was a point that he gets a trauma instilled upon him. And the idea that he once actually came out as Kamen Rider, or at least acted like Kamen Rider, and it scared people away from him. And the idea they had this whole school rivalry happen, where they had this one nearby school kidnaps one of the girls, and he decks them out. And then they come to his school to confront him and kidnaps this girl that finds him mysterious. And he literally goes out there and he fights them all, but he gets the crap beat out of him. The girl calls his name and he literally stands up, rips off his shirt, says that he was going to use his full power, his full potential. He didn't want to. He's got drawn on his belly a Kamen Rider belt. He does the pose. Everybody laughs at him, but then he beats the shit out of everybody. And this dude was like the ultimate Chad right here. The girl's doki doki for him because he protected her. And then she goes over to him and says, "Who are you?" He says, "I'm Kamen Rider." And then he wipes the blood from his face and she says it's scary, runs away. And that's caused like this deep-rooted trauma in him that he exposed that he's Kamen Rider. It's so stupid. And I love it. Like, everything about this show is so freaking funny. I can't get enough of it. I can't. I think the only comedy in the series that I haven't liked so far is probably Asano. Asano's probably the only part that I don't really care much for. He's the perv out guy. He's like that dude from My Hero Academia, where it's like every 2 seconds he has to be like gushing blood out his nose pretty much, daydreaming about his teacher. Like, he's constantly just perving out in class, and it's like, why is he even in the show? Like, he's not Tojima, our main character. He's not Okada, who's Tackle. Why is he even here besides just constantly perving out about Okada? We get plenty of fan service from her alone. I don't need his daydreams to give us fan service. I feel like his only purpose is to feed us fan service that she's not giving us, but she's already giving us. I just find him creepy. It's like, I don't need a guy in the show to creep out over her. I'm creeping out enough. I don't need him to creep out about her. I'm already creeping out about her. It's not funny. Get him off the screen. He's creepy. He creeps me out. I don't need him there. Go away. I'm enjoying watching. I don't need to see what he's watching, okay? If Asano wasn't in the show, I think the show would have been overall pretty perfect for me. The comedy aside, I do find this to be a decent story. Like, the concept here seemingly is showing how individuals, how they're so inspired by Kamen Rider the show, through their passion for the show and the story and the characters, are seemingly manifesting the characters. Like Tojima himself. This is a guy that spent his entire life training to become a Kamen Rider, and then he has a moment where he wants to really badly become Kamen Rider to protect somebody. He puts on a child's festival mask of Kamen Rider, and it seems like this surge of energy flows through his body. Like it literally affects him physically. And I'm wondering if it will just be a thing where your belief and desire to be Kamen Rider, you manifest and become Kamen Rider. Same thing for all these minions that are putting on these masks and going, yee, they're manifesting it. Like even the guy that gets arrested says, when I said yee, suddenly I felt strong and that I could do anything. It's manifesting in them in some way. And I think that's probably what they're going to do with all the characters. Every time there's an appearance of Shocker, it seems like it's somebody that wants to do bad for their own reason, and they just literally manifest it. I think that's really the direction they're going. How that plays into the monsters, that's a big question mark, because, I mean, I guess somebody wants to become a monster so bad, suddenly their face deforms and they're able to just dissolve bodies. I guess they could do that. That's going to be the big question mark there, but it's a cool concept. It does make me kind of wonder if this is actually reality or if this is all in their heads. Like, none of this is actually happening. They're just manifesting in their own brains because they're so obsessed with the show. These crazy adults are just becoming Kamen Rider, and everybody else from the sidelines is going, what the heck are these people doing? It seems like it's actually happening because, again, they're knocking people into ceilings and busting people down the street with one punch. It does seem like it's actually manifesting. It does seem like Tojima is literally punching people the next week. Visually, and I have to add audio-wise here, it's great. I really do like it. Especially the first episode. The first episode was just fantastic. I think there is a style here they're going with that really does match with the show, and again, does kind of play into what they're taking with the live action footage and, you know, giving an anime style to it. And some of the action scenes are really well played out. They're not incredible animation, except for like this one punch that Tojima does that's really well animated, but they're reusing it, so it doesn't really mean much to me. Like, he does this whole like wind up, and then there's like this big punch and everything. You hear that like kapow noise, the character goes flying and everything like that. But they're reusing it. They're reusing a lot of these animations. What really kind of sells a lot of the action for me is the music. Every single one of these characters has their own theme song that plays in the background, and it really plays into it well. I absolutely love Tackle. There's one really fantastic scene where Tojima goes in and punches this guy, and the guy recovers and then punches Tojima back. And then Tojima goes to do a second punch, but then Okada comes in and interrupts him and says it's my turn. So it's playing the theme song for Tojima for Kamen Rider, but the moment that Okada interrupts him and says it's my turn, it switches over and it says, I am Tackle, and it's got the Tackle music playing. It's so genius. It so plays well. It overall just makes me feel like, despite the fact that it's not like the most incredibly animated show, there is some good animation points to it, and there's some spicy shots with Okada. Despite them not having like an incredible budget here, it feels like these people love what they're doing. I get a sense from the creators, the studio, and the people working on it, they really like this, and they're having a lot of fun with it, and they're putting in the effort for the action and the music and the sound effects and everything. Now, I will say this show has that problem where they overdo the sound effects, in the point where it sounds like they're trying to make the sound effects peak too much, that it sounds very muffled. It sounds horrible at times. Maybe it's just my sound system. I've never really had this problem with really anything else. Sword Art Online does quite a bit too. You've ever watched a show where it suddenly just sounds like the sound's distorting because it's too much and it's purposely done that way? It doesn't ruin it though. Anyways, that's all for me to say. I love this show. I really enjoy this show. It's not going to be for everybody. Comedy's subjective. Some people are going to find this a really stupid show. Some people are going to fall in love with it. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm surprised how much I'm enjoying it because, like I said before, I'm not a Super Sentai fan. I'm not a Kamen Rider fan. I'm not really too much into this stuff. It's so bonkers and goofy and weird that it works on so many levels for me, and I'm just really enjoying it. Except for Asano. Asano can go. Keep the Okada fan service. I'm liking that, but get Asano out of here. I don't need him in here. He's not needed. He's a creepy little kid. Just get out of here. Go on, shoo. Go on, shoo. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. Hopefully you found this video informative. If you did, hit the like button down below. Comment. Let me know if you checked it out already, or if this video makes you want to go check it out, or if you checked it out already and it didn't work for you, let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this content and want to support the channel more, become a member of the channel. Until next time, y'all take care.